Hello and good evening, everybody. My name is Jamie Messina. I'm so excited tonight about tonight's training. We are going to hear from one of the best in the industry as to why NHT Global and what this amazing opportunity can do for you. But before we get to the training, just to let you know what this individual is all about and what he's accomplished. 25 years in the industry. He is one of the legends in the industry because of what he's accomplished. Most importantly, the people that he's been able to help. He travels the globe. He has he's made more money in a week than most people make in a year. But you know what? It's because of how hard he works and what he does, and he's a constant student. And that's the important thing, and that's why you're on the training here tonight. That's why we're all on the training, because you want to learn, and earners are learners. This individual is one of my very good friends, Mr. Dan Catto. The call is all yours.
Jamie, thank you. Thank you very much for the kind introduction. First of all, I just want to make sure my audio is good, because we're going to be wrapping here for the next 35 to 40 minutes or so.
Loud and clear.
Coming through clear? Good. Great, 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 great. And Francis, I know we're not going to have really any slides tonight other than the first one, which is a shot of me in Hawaii just a couple of months ago. And there was a reason why I've done that. I've always believed that it is important, certainly, to the visualization that you get in any presentation, in any forum that you may be, where you're the student and you need to learn. You're looking at maybe graphs, charts, stuff that you want to take in, and there's tremendous value. I believe in that. What I'm going to do tonight is try and paint to you a picture as best as I can, and visualize for you what I went through 25 years ago when I got involved in this industry. When I was asked not too long ago, Dan, what do you want to talk about tonight? And it's one of the most common things that I do talk about. When I travel around the world, or when I'm on so many of these conference calls with so many people, they ask me, why NHT? Why should we? Why should we get involved? Why should we do this? Why should we commit to this? Why should I sacrifice everything for this? Why should I do it part-time? There's just so many. Why NHT? And I think there's even a bigger question too. And it ties in not only just why NHT, but why this industry, and why NHT with this industry? Because there's just so much. People can be looking at our company versus other companies in the industry, but gang, for me 25 years ago, and I want to really go over a couple of things with you, the massive benefits and advantages that you have with NHT Global versus any other company that's out there. We're going to walk through that, and I'm going to speak, I feel, slowly enough but fast enough to keep pace here with you, but help you visualize and paint this picture so you can get the bullets that will help you when you go out there. You're talking to your prospects, or if you're looking at our opportunity tonight to evaluate our business, is this the type of opportunity that you want? Now, and why I'm saying it's kind of two-sided here. One side is where maybe you're looking at NHT Global. Jamie, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. And for all of you that are listening to this training call, I was just introduced by the great James Messina, and I was on today with a prospect of his, a great individual out of South Florida, and he's weighing out and evaluating a lot of other companies that are out there in our industry. We've talked about the benefits and the advantages and the tremendous value and the huge benefits that you have in joining our opportunity versus other programs in the industry. But, for so many people, when they look at our industry, they're looking at it for the first time. What I mean by that is it's the first time they've looked at our industry. They don't know much about network marketing. They don't know much about other companies. They're just thinking, is this the right industry? Should I get involved with this industry, let alone this company? And that's what I want to talk to you about as well. So for the person that's coming from traditional business, you're a professional. Maybe you're a non-professional. You don't have a professional background. Maybe you're a person that, for so many people that have gone involved in our industry, they don't come from sales. They don't come from sales and marketing. Again, they don't have a business background. Maybe they come from the trades industry, as they call it, the blue-collar industry, working in trades. Maybe someone has never worked for themselves, and they've worked in, as an employee in a huge conglomerate, but working in traditional business, which is not our industry, and are looking at our industry for the first time. So what are the advantages of getting involved in our industry for the very first time? What are the huge advantages of joining our industry, our opportunity, versus traditional business, but also getting involved with us being self-employed, because you go into business for yourself, but you're not by yourself, versus starting a franchise or starting up your own business? What are some of the advantages that you've got over that? So there's quite a bit to cover, and I could spend an entire weekend, gang, in sharing with you the advantages and the benefits of all of these kind of three areas: traditional business, going into business for yourself, and then also the competition that's out there. But I'm going to go through all of this with you and just give you the highlights and the bullets and an overview and helping you evaluate this. Now, at the conclusion of our call, because I'm going to take maybe about another 25 or 30 minutes here, if you have questions after this, please get back together with the leader who got to you on this call, the person that got you onto this call. If there's any other questions that you might have, I'd be more than happy to do a follow-up call with you, et cetera, et cetera. But this is a very, very big point to our industry and to NHT Global deciding. And Jamie and gang, for a lot of you, maybe you just started this call, I'm bringing up James Messina's name here. He introduced me to this call here tonight, but we were just on today, and we've been on with a very, very high-profile individual in our industry of network marketing who's evaluating other companies. And he was deciding, and he had to make a big decision because he was making a lifelong career decision, and he wanted to go belly to belly with us. And it looks like he's going to be flying in to see our partners here in Toronto, and he'll be flying out to my home in South Florida, which I'll be at in a couple of weeks. So again, people every single day are deciding on opportunities. They're deciding on companies. They're deciding on businesses. They're making these huge decisions, and these are lifelong career decisions. But there's a lot of people out there that are making these decisions on a part-time basis, that are looking just to they're looking to earn an extra $1,000 a month, and an extra $1,000 a month. They say, it's been said by the financial experts out there, an extra $1,000 a month would save half the bankruptcies in America today. Just an extra $1,000 a month. But what would you do with an extra $1,000 a month? What kind of car would you drive? What kind of home would you live in? What kind of schools would your kids be going to? What kind of life would you maybe have? What type of dream vacation would you go on? Probably with the Donna Young family, you'd probably be going on one of these dream vacations. But there's just so many things, gang, as I shared with you, that you'd be looking at when you're deciding on our industry and deciding on our company. But let's start in the very, very beginning, kind of when I got started and what I saw and the advantages that I didn't see initially when I got involved in this industry. And I got involved with a great company. It wasn't NHT Global at the time. It was another company 25 years ago. But it introduced me to this incredible new world, a world that I had no idea was out there. I had no idea that I could be in a position there where I just had to really, really work hard. I mean, really hard. As Jamie says, Dan works hard. Yes, he did. Ask my wife, ask my mother, ask my mother-in-law, ask my ex-mother-in-law, ask everyone, how hard did Dan work? As hard as they've probably seen anyone work for a few years. But you know what? I did what I had to for a few years so I could do what I wanted for the rest of my life. And gang, that happened. 25 years ago, I was living with mom and dad in a small town outside of Toronto, Canada. I was in my early 30s and lost everything through a bankruptcy, a divorce, a corporate takeover. I got sick. I was in the hospital for a couple of months. I was on government assistance, and I got turned on to the industry. And within 15 years, I became a multi-millionaire. Today, I've got homes and million-dollar homes in 2 different countries. Never, ever have to work again financially. And that happened a long time ago. But now it's a whole other reason why I do this. But gang, when I started, and for so many of you that are listening to this call, you're somewhere from when I got started to where I am right now. So if I can help you today in your decision, or if I can help you today in someone else's decision, this is where I'm getting my great, great reward. I'm giving back. So they've always served, you know, it's been said that you can achieve greatness by serving many. Actually, that came from the good book. And I believe you can achieve that here, particularly with NHT Global in our industry, by serving others, by giving back. The rewards are, you can't even put a measuring, you can't put a measure on any of that. So let's go to the beginning. When I got started off in this industry in 1988, I had come from traditional business. I had spent 10 years in corporate. I spent 2 years in private business. I had owned and operated my own business. But let's go to just working for someone. Okay, what's it like? I was working for someone, for so many of you that are out there, you can relate to a job. You're getting up, probably 95% of you that have got a job, you're employed, you're working for someone, you're salaried, you know you will fall in. The average income per capita in Canada is under $50,000 a year. Jamie has shared with you, I've been able to make way more than that in 1 week before I got out of bed. Now that is a reality, and I'm not the smallest check in our company. I got people on our team that have made more money than me, and they were able to do that in less than 5 years. So there's some big money out there. So let's talk to the reality of the world out there. And we live in the greatest land in terms of opportunity in the world today, United States and Canada, in North America. The average income per capita, the average person is making way less than $50,000 a year. They're working about 40 to 45 hours a week. If they're taking their full vacation, they're probably not looked at as a company person. They're probably asked to work extra hours, come in on weekends. You're probably getting up when it's dark, probably getting home when it's dark, especially in the winter, especially if you're living in 80% of North America. You know, you're not your own boss. You know, you're working for someone. It doesn't matter how hard you work. It seems like your increments in pay, you work harder, maybe you'll get that 5% increase in pay. You know, that's all I really knew was just working for someone for 10 years. And I actually did work up my way up the corporate ladder. Gang, you can relate to anything. Wherever you are that's out there, you're working for someone, you know the hours you put in, the vacation time that you get. Are you a company person? You look at the attrition, you look at the layoffs, you look what's going on out there today with unemployment, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, everyone is aware of it, and we're in the best situation probably in the world today, outside of maybe just a handful of countries that are in Scandinavia. But just about everywhere else in the world, they've got higher unemployment. Now that's as a job. That's someone just over broke, J-O-B, just obey your boss, just over broke. So the next 40 to 45 to 50 years, gang, when I reflect, I spent 10 years in the corporate world, in traditional business. Do you know that after 10 years in traditional business, and I got to the second highest position in the company, and I was working for a fashion company, one of the largest fashion corporate retailers in Canada at the time, in the 70s and the 80s. I got to the very, very top of the heap in the mid-80s. And when I left that company, I was basically broke. I had a net worth of pretty much zero, and that was after 10 years. You know, I was financially independent after several years here in this industry, but I was a multi-millionaire after 15. So when I reflect the first 10 and what I did in traditional business working for someone, what if I multiplied that by 4? That would be my 40 to 45 year game plan. Nothing else was going to change. You know, I'd worked 10 years. I got to the top of the corporate heap. Things had to change. For things to change, I had to change. Fortunately, I crashed. If I hadn't gone in the ditch, I wouldn't have changed the path that I was on. So I had to go through that crash. So interestingly enough, right around that time, I did start my own business. So I tried that. So after 2 years in my own business, and for all of you that have owned your own business out there, you can relate to this. How much does it cost you to go into business for yourself today? A Class A A1 franchise today in North America will run you $250,000 to $300,000. That's at the bottom end. Your average McDonald's franchise, and basically you've just bought yourself a job and probably 30 teenagers, is going to run you $2 to $3 million. Who wants to lay out that kind of capital? Well, maybe you're in a position to do it. How many people want to do it? Well, they do say that 75% of all the wealth that's created out there is created by people who go into business for themselves. That's a clue. So if you want to go into business for yourself, you want to do it in franchising, you want to lay out all that money to go into business for yourself. So what is the capital outlay? Well, it says that 90% of the companies that go into people that go into business for themselves take 5 years before they're turning a profit. 5. Do you know that every one of our millionaires in NHT Global got there in less than 5 years? That's a fact. So you go into business for yourself, you look at franchising, it's going to cost you on the bottom end $300,000 to $400,000. Probably if you're going to get a great franchise, you're looking at from the Tim Hortons here in Canada to the McDonald's throughout the world, you're talking about 7 figures. But look what you're putting in terms of overhead, the hours that you're going to be putting into that business. Do you know those 2 years that I owned my own business, I didn't own the business owned me. That was my reality. Within 24 months, I was broke. But you know what? I was like the rest of the norm out there of the people that go into business for themselves today. And they say that over 50% of the people that go into business, people that go into business for themselves, that's a fact, within the first 12 months are gone. They're done. And the ones that do survive, as I shared with you earlier, are taking 5 years before they're in the black, before they're turning a profit. And you know how many of those make it from the very beginning? Less than 5%. Less than 5%. So when people decide, and you've got your choices out there, do you want to go into business for yourself? Do you want a job? Where do you want to be in 40 to 45 and 50 years? Just getting by? I can't fathom just getting by. When I was introduced to this industry and I was able to see this whole other world that was out there, that I saw that people could have multiple homes. They didn't have to have a 7-year, 8-year, 9-year years of education in terms of at an Ivy League school. You didn't have to have that, but you had to be a student. I saw that you didn't have to go to school for 7 or 8 or 9 years of working really hard on the books, but you had to pay the price for 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, 7 years here and being a student and going to work and using that practical theory out there in the marketplace, and that's just following, the system, the process by your professors and your teachers, which we do provide. But I was introduced to all of that. The beautiful thing is that I was able to see the picture first. 25 years ago, I met one guy in particular that changed my life. He was 25 years old. I was 32 going on 33. His name was Jeff Roberti. That was my original mentor and coach, who was living on the ocean in Siesta Key in South Florida, in Sarasota, Florida, and he was earning $170,000 a month. Not a year, a month, and he was 25. 36 months prior to that, he was a waiter. Less than 3 years before that, he was a waiter and a dropout from college. I could relate to this kid, even though he was 7 years younger than me. It got a hold of my ego, got a hold of my attention. I saw his life. He living on the ocean. He's 25 years old. He never had to work again. And by the way, this $170,000 a month was coming in whether we worked or not, and it was growing. That's strong. When you have that kind of positive cash flow that is growing, not receding, but growing, that's powerful. You've got active income, you've got residual income. Active income is you work, you get paid, you don't work, you don't get paid. That, by the way, is a job. Great. Go out, work, get paid. Don't work, don't get paid. Work for 30 years. Work, get paid for 30 years. Don't work, don't get paid for the rest of your life. Incredible. You get a little maybe retirement thing that, maybe if you spend 40 years with that company and that company happens to survive 40 years, which is a rarity in today's marketplace, the best thing that you could do is put ownership into yourself and put the real true value into yourself and what you do, particularly here. And that's what I saw. It was for me to see this picture initially that I could have. I saw this kid living on the ocean, earning, you know, 6 figures monthly, whether he worked or not, 25 years ago, gang. That's a lot of money today. Think about how much that was 25 years ago, and think about how much that is if you're broke. That moved my DNA. So it made me become a real student of this industry and get to see the bigger picture. So when I realized that I was, and at that time I was with the right company, I was certainly in the right industry, and I had the right mentorship, and I went to work, and I learned this business. Things changed in the marketplace with that particular company. That company is still there today. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. God bless them. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today, and God bless that mentor and coach that I had back then. I wouldn't be here today. But I tell you, they say the teacher will arrive when the student is ready. I was ready. I ask you, are you ready? Because we've got teachers all throughout NHT here today. So now, shared with you the powerful, powerful advantage that you have in going into business for yourself here versus going into business for yourself in traditional. There's the money. You go into business for yourself, by the way. There's massive tax advantages that we've got here. By the way, working from home, forget about commute. I haven't had a commute in 25 years. 7 months of the year, you know what my commute is? The seagulls and the pelicans out on the ocean, because I'm on the ocean every morning and every afternoon for a lovely morning walk and afternoon walk. And Jamie, you know what I'm talking about. You've been on the phone with me a number of times. And for a lot of you to listen to this call, you've been on with me when I've been talking to you, and I've been walking along the ocean, doing a conference call with you, doing a three-way, getting paid, and now it's my life, and that is my commute. So, I mean, they say that lifestyle is not really an amount. They're right. It really is right. So this is part of what you have here with this industry. Before we start looking at other companies, I'm going to share some powerful advantages of NHT Global versus other companies in the industry. But take a look at what you can do, this portable business around the world versus the bricks and mortar traditional business that costs you 6 and 7 figures to get into. Here it's just, to get involved in our industry today, it's, for the most part, at the most, $2,000 or $3,000, and some people get started for just a few $100s. So capital outlay is hardly there. Ongoing expenses hardly there. You're able to still move around the world. You can do business virtually anywhere you want, anytime you want. How do you like, being your own boss? How do you like getting up when you want? Someone asked my wife the other day, when do you get up? She says, when I'm finished sleeping. My wife is notorious to be getting up at the crack of noon. It's the life that she's had for the last 25 years because of this industry. So let's move quickly, and it's just for the sake of time, gang. I want to share with you now the advantages of NHT Global versus the industry. That's the other companies within our industry. Now, when I got involved in multi-level marketing 25 years ago, I didn't get it, didn't understand it, couldn't spell it frontwards, backwards, didn't know it. I was clueless. But I was able to see that picture that I shared with you in the very beginning that helped me visualize where I wanted to be. The great Donna Young, one of the great leaders that we have here with NHT Global in North America, talked about before she got turned on to our industry, she wasn't dreaming, but this industry allowed her to dream. And that's what we allow you to do, to dream the dreams that you never were able to dream before. Whatever was suffocating you, whatever blocks that were there, whatever blanket was covering your eyes, whatever sheets were over top of you that would not release you, we can do that here. James Messina was sharing earlier tonight, and I tell you, all you have to do is listen to one of the great presentations by the incredible James Messina here with NHT Global, and you probably can understand why we are the deal that's out there versus anything else that's out there. He talked tonight about the tremendous incentives and promotions that you have, going to Paris, going to Dubai, going to Hong Kong, virtually traveling around the world, everywhere around the world, every possible exotic location NHT Global is touching and paying your way there. So all of these huge advantages that we have, that's just a part of what I was sharing with you, but I'm going to go through some bullets here. the incentives, the promotions that allow you to dream, to put you into the car of your dreams, the home of your dreams, the exotic locations of your dreams, the dreams for your children. What schools would you put your kids in if you were in a position to do it? What schools would you put your grandchildren in if you knew you could do that? Do you know that NHT Global is introducing that education program now to our distributors? They've just done it in the Orient. They're about to do it to our Eastern Europeans. Do you know they've got this car program they just introduced where they can drive the car of their dreams? You know what the dreams are out there? They've got their dreams in Russia are not just Mercedes and Lexus and Beamers. They're Bentleys. Our top distributors out there will be driving Bentleys in the next, I believe, coming months. And these are top distributors that we have in Russia that 2 years ago, 3 years ago, could not afford a car. Boy, does that change your life. You know, you think about the different parts of the world, and the studies show that 95% of the people out there in the world today never leave their own hometown. They never really get a chance to travel. So that is a huge part of us and our dreaming. So I really wanted to echo what Donna Young, the great Donna Young, had talked about earlier today on our opportunity call when she talked about her getting involved with us because it allowed her to dream. And boy, did she nail it. Because so many of our people have been allowed to change their lives. Their lives have changed dramatically because all of a sudden, all of this stuff that was covering them before, this holding them back, was released. And it was allowing them to dream again. And when you could dream like that and you could believe that you could achieve and you could be there, what price would you pay and what would you do? And boy, does that get you out of bed in the morning. So that's what's been able to power and drive a lot of our business. But let me share with you some bullets. Right now, if you're weighing NHT Global versus the competition, write this stuff down. And gang, this is very basic stuff. The beautiful thing is, the first thing that I'm going to share with you is that when you weigh NHT Global against ABC Company or XYZ, whoever that's out there, and this industry is full of great, great companies because it is an incredible, incredible industry. I just sincerely believe we have the best opportunity, and I'm going to share with you why. Great companies that are out there, they're not for me. This is for me, and I believe this is for you. And again, I'm going to share with you why. So first of all, I think with anything, you want to begin with the end. I believe with anything, you want to begin with the end in mind. Going into business for yourself, versus going and getting a job. Joining our industry versus going into business for yourself. Getting versus that job. Anything else that's out there, you want to begin with the end in mind. What do you want in your life? Why are you joining us? Is it for the part-time opportunity that we have here? Is it because of the great, great products that we have? As we shared with you tonight, we've had people's lives literally saved because of the products. My colitis and Crohn's is gone because of the products that I'm taking. These are personal testimonials. And you can talk to literally thousands of people. We really try to stay away from the public forum and getting on to a public platform and talking about, the products of, well, it's cured me of this and cured me of that. We don't say it's cured us, but we can share with you that we don't have that health challenge anymore, and you can speak to so many people, countless, thousands of people, one-on-one that we have. Donna Young was one of them tonight. I'm another one that literally had health challenges that was, over time going to take us out of this world. So there's just so many reasons why different reasons why people join us. So it's beginning with the end in mind. But look at this very first point. Why us against the competition? First of all, we're 13 years old. That's powerful. Most companies in our industry barely make it their first year. There's a very, very small percentage that get to 5 years. It's an absolute rarity. But it's no different than traditional business where, in companies that are startups, and not so much in franchising, but for people that are in manufacturing or in retail or in marketing and traditional business, our numbers are not too different than other businesses that are out there in the marketplace of people starting up in their own business. So there's a lot of attrition out there. We've been around for 13 years. The studies show that for companies that have been around north of 10 years in our industry, 99% of the time get to their 20th year anniversary and beyond. It's a powerful statement. Basically what we're saying is a 13-year-old company, we're here to stay. Number two, we're publicly traded. Some people think there's an advantage to a privately held company versus a publicly traded company. I'll share with you the advantages of a publicly traded company. Number one, and this is huge, we're transparent. We are transparent. Everything about us you will know. The good, the bad, the ugly, the history, virtually everything. So when you go to sleep at night, you can feel real good and feel real solid and feel sound that you know everything about our business and our opportunity. And we're very, very proud of our history. It hasn't been easy. This has not been, they say the road to success is always under construction. And my God, did we have to pull over a few times and, you know, repair the tires and fix what we had to fix to make things work. But it helped define us and characterize us as an opportunity in our industry. But really, it's today a legacy that we're developing right now in the marketplace today. So number one is that we've been around 13 years, and number two, we're publicly traded. Number three, you want to take a look at the management team that we have. We've got an incredibly powerful, strong, worldwide management team that is really focused on the future. I mean, their history, we've got people that have got a tremendous background in sales and marketing and numbers. Our CEO of our company, Chris Sharn, comes from Mattel. He was head of international marketing, international finance for Mattel, a multi-billion-dollar company that was the power of the driving force behind Mattel that has come over here to keep our company very, very solid. As far as a ship goes, and if you're going to be navigating across the ocean here, you want to make sure this ship is, you're going to have, not going to have any leaks in your ship. You want to keep the mast nice and high as this thing sails across the ocean. We have got a great corporate operational leader and a tremendous corporate and operational team that is fixed on the future of our company. And just about all of them, from our in-house counsel to the head of marketing that we have to all of our people worldwide, have been with us for a long, long, long time. So a great, great management team. Take a look at the number of countries that we're in today. We're in over 40 countries. If you look at just about all of the companies that are out there today, if you want to be a billion-dollar company in our industry today, you basically have to be in multiple markets. You look at the huge companies that are out today that have got the most millionaires, the Amways, the Mary Kays, the New Skins, the Herbalifes. Yes, they've got lots of millionaires, but those millionaires have been there a long, long, long time, and it took them a lot longer than 5 years to get there. Remember, I shared with you, all of ours got there in less than 5 years. But it took every one of those companies 30, 40, and 50, and 60 years and beyond to get into all of those markets. They've got countless, countless products, which is important, but it took them years and years and years and years to do that. We were able to do it in rapid fire, partly because of our global mission and our global vision that we had, and that was to get into multiple markets around the world, and that is part of a huge part of our success is because of our global business model that we had, and that was to get into multiple markets. We were able to do that because of a topical product that was our flagship product that we introduced, which is Allura. If you're listening to us for the first time, hearing about our opportunity, our flagship product that we started with 13 years ago was a topical product. Our second flagship product, Skindulgence, again, is a topical product. 99% of the company's flagship products that are out there in the industry, not us, our competition, they're ingestible products. They're consumables, which is great because it's repeat business, reorder business, one-time sale, lifetime income. You want that repeat reorder business. But ingestible products will take you years and years and years to get approvals and getting into those respective countries and marketplaces. That's why it took all of those companies that I shared with you years and years and years to get into all of those markets and countries around the world to become a billion-dollar company. But if you've got a topical product that is on the outside of your skin, because both of our flagship products are topical creams, but incredibly, They tie into our marketing mission. And tied into that mission was when we led with our global business model around the world. We wanted to do it through simplicity. But we wanted to lead with products that we found that we would lead with that no one had, everyone would have, and everybody could afford. If we were going to dine with the classes, we had to sell to the masses. Finding a product that was going to do the most for the least amount of money for the most amount of people. And we were able to do that with those two flagship products. Not one, two. No one had them. We had them. We have the global rights in both of them. One of them has Nobel Prize-winning research behind it. Find a company out there that has got Nobel Prize-winning research products in their lineup. We've got not just one, we've got two. So it's another huge advantage and plus that we have to our product line. So one, that is a huge unfair advantage that NHT Global has versus the competition. We're global. You can bring anyone to the table here and ask them, versus the competition. The company that you're dealing with, ABC company, a lot of respect for them. How long have they been around? How much business have they done? Look at their management team. Are they publicly traded? If they're private, how transparent is that? Number 4, number 5. How many markets are they in? We've got infrastructure in 40, and we're shipping to the rest. So where we've got infrastructure, office, satellite office, warehousing, manufacturing, etc., we've got that in 40 markets around the world and shipping to the rest of the world. Find another company that can compete with that that's been around less than 13 years, that's publicly traded, that's transparent, that's already done $1 billion. So then you look at the product mix that we've got. I just shared with you our flagship products. The key to this was the flagship products got us in the door. Remember this. You can get approvals with topical products in just about every country of the world within a matter of weeks, at the most a matter of months. That's why with topical products you can move at warp speed around the world. But once you're in the door, you now have developed a relationship with that country, that governing body, whoever it is, and now it's so much easier to get the approvals on your ingestible products. Lead with your flagship, then bring in your fleet. The fleet is the ingestible consumables that develop the core foundation of your business. And guess what? Most of those products are demonstratable. They're retailable. That means demonstration, not information. Results, not ingredients. You don't have to have a PhD try to tell them what this product does, what it'll change you, da-da-da-da-da. Demonstrate it. Just talk about the results. This is what happens when I take the product. So results, demonstration, not information. Results, not the ingredients. The retail opportunity is powerful. We've got people that earn a 6-figure income just selling the product. So you've got also the high-ticket item that we've got here. So people who are just looking to go out and market and retail our products, we've got that. They can be sold out of salons and shops and boutiques, which we're doing as well. The products have got Nobel Prize-winning research behind. There's 2 of them. There's impact products in our lineup. And what we say by that, impact consumable products. What is that? Well, it's a product that will impact your life if you take it, and it'll impact your life if you stop taking it. Ask Donnie Young. Ask Dan Catto. Ask the tens of thousands of distributors and customers and satisfied customers out there that don't have the health challenge anymore because they take the products, that now have a whole new look in life, that have got a whole new relationship because they've got these products, they use these products, they take these products. Their energy, all of it, it impacts their lives by taking these products. And it'll impact their lives if they stop taking these products. We talked about the exotic incentives, traveling around the world, going to just about, think of an exotic location. If we haven't been there, we're going there. And if you want to go, join us. We talked about the strong management team. Look at the system that we have here. This system that we have works. You don't do $1 billion by accident. You do it by design. You don't get 44 millionaires by accident. That happens by design. It happens by a system. It happens by a process. And it happens because it works. And it also happens because you got great leadership. And I'm not tooting my horn or Garcia's horn. Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm going to toot our horns here. Between myself and my partner, we've got, between the two of us, nearly 50 years of experience in this industry full-time. It's 40-plus. Full-time, that's all we do. We've created over 40 millionaires here. We've created well over 100 millionaires around the world, well over, including the other opportunities that were involved in before we got here. So this is not an accident. This is not a maybe. This is not a, okay, we'll try this. This works. And we're just getting started. So you can virtually do business anywhere around the world with an opportunity that's committed to growth and is committed to your future. Why NHT? Why not? And why not now? Gang, thank you so much for taking the time here tonight to listen to what I've got to share with you. There's so much more I can share with you. If you got any questions or whatever, do get together with a person who got you onto this call, and I can respond to some of your emails or any questions that you might have. But again, it's always wonderful to be able to give back to this great industry, this great opportunity that has been able to change certainly my life, but so many other lives that we have around the world. So gang, thank you. Take care. Have a great night, and we will see you in the beaches of the world and one of these great exotic locations that we've been talking about. Take care. Good night.